and gentlemen, I found it. I am 1/4 of the Dang Dad Sportscast, and tonight I want to go in and um, I want to go in here and cover this Carmelo Anthony thing with this kid, the stabbing in Texas. This is one of the most stupid, tragic things that I've ever seen in not ever seen, but I've seen dumb things happen in sports, outside of sports and parking lots and things of that nature. We've seen fights and different cultures come together. This thing was so premeditated by this kid that to watch his parents try to defend him, it's one of the saddest things I've ever seen when it comes to, situations like this. Now, let me say this. I truly wish that this never happened. And I know that young man truly wishes that he never stabbed that kid, Austin Metcalf. First and foremost, I want to start here. As of late, we've been seeing a lot of displays of parents that have supported the actions of their children in a place where everybody's seeing the same damn thing. We had the girl with the baton a couple weeks ago at track meet, about a month ago at track meet. They hit the girl in the head, and then she went on this media tour, claiming that that's not what happened. Everybody saw it. I saw about 4 or 5 track coaches, black track coaches at that, female black track coaches, say totally unacceptable. That little girl went around crying, got her dad involved, whole family involved. They're going around speaking to people, saying that, hey, no, that's not what happened. Like, we all didn't see that shit. And I don't want to curse in this moment because I want to be very serious, and I want to really talk about accountability in our culture as black people. There is none. There's a very few of us who hold ourselves accountable. Very few. As a culture as a whole, maybe 75% of our culture does not have accountability for shit. Nothing. That little girl hit that girl in the head with a damn baton. Bottom line. She was training. She ran the race. It didn't work out for her, and she lost her composure. And instead of saying that, she went in on this whole media tirade that made her and her family look like fools. As if we were supposed to all act like we didn't see what the hell was going on. That's what the crazy shit was. We were supposed to act like we didn't see this girl, take her baton, hit this girl in the head. You can't make this shit up. As Kevin Samuels would say, you can't make it up. You cannot make this shit up. Then the father goes and does a press conference and says, I know my daughter, this, that, and the third, and da-da-da. And it's like, Dad, you know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. And listen, Dad, when I grew up, I had parents, I didn't really get right to wrong. What are you doing in this first place? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? No, I see that, right? You're wrong. Right? And that's just the bottom line sometimes. So let's move on to this kid, Carmelo Anthony, stabbing this kid. One of these twin brothers, white kid, who went to the high school, Centennial. Carmelo went to a Centennial, and the other kid went to, I think, Memorial. And Carmelo kills this kid. But what we have not gotten into is a few things. I want to take you down this timeline here
of a couple things that have happened as far as this case is concerned. And I'm really, 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 I did my homework last night for about, maybe 4 hours. After I got done podcasting last night, I stayed up all night long and watched every single bit of evidence. I watched what was going on with the actual car ride to the precinct, what happened after he stabbed his kid, what happened premeditated to when he stabbed his kid. The crazy thing is this: in November, this kid, and I think is Austin's brother, twin brother, is a twin brother, and Carmelo, they had an incident in November. And however that incident was resolved, it was resolved between the Texas Athletic Commission, I think, high school commission, and the school board, or whatever, the school system or whatever. They settled it. These guys got into a little bit of a physical altercation, or whatever may happen. They settled it behind closed doors. Now, I would even go any further to say that since I've watched Austin's father, I have to give him a lot of praise for saying that this is not a racial thing. It's not racial. He's like, please don't bring the racial shit into it, because this is not what it is. I think that his two sons had a altercation with this kid Carmelo in the past, and it's documented, right? And I think Carmelo felt some kind of way, and he found his opportunity to do something about it here at this track meet. First and foremost, I want to say this, that I grew up in a household of people who raised me, who made sure that I knew when to apologize, when to hold myself accountable. They kind of got their rocks off on that. They enjoyed that part, so they can remind you 1,000 times. Remember that time when you did? That's just who they were, and it's okay. But I learned to apologize at a very young age. Also, growing up in Washington, D.C., I learned that, some shit you just need to stay your ass at home. Sometimes you got to stay at home. Sometimes when you know there's an inkling of trouble, you got to stay the hell out the way. If you got a bigger goal, if you're an athlete, you have a bigger goal to go somewhere, to get out of your fucking environment. I want to just get out of DC. I want it out. And I wasn't going to let nothing in my way stop me from that. And so a lot of times I had to apologize. I had to say, yeah, I did that. I was wrong. I grew up that the people who raised me really drummed that into my head. But what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing all these families that are going on these media tirades. They have the nerve and audacity to act like their kids were not in the wrong. Now, let's just go back to to November, when I think these two brothers had a problem with this kid. Now, fast forward to April 2nd, they have a track meet. There's a rain delay. Now, let me tell you something about rain delays. In a rain delay at a track meet, and let me just vouch for myself right here, and anybody who has a problem with it, speak up, but I have many people that can vouch for my track background. I ran at a high level in track in the Washington, D.C. area. And when you have a rain delay, you usually stay underneath your own umbrella with your people, because you don't know when this thing's going to break, but you also have to stay close to your coaches to find out exactly when it's going to be over, the rain delay's over. And not only that, you have to know how they're going to rearrange the track meet, because sometimes they will go and they will change around races to make things easier for the athletes to finish the race before the daylight goes away. Now, Carmelo Anthony, who snuck a knife into an arena, a track event. He sneaks his knife into the track event. All right. For what? I don't know. I have never run a track meet in my life in the Washington, D.C. area. And let me just say this. Frisco, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Frisco, Texas was deemed 3 years in a row one of the top 4 safest places to live in the country. Salute to safe places to live in this country. Now, so now I don't know why this kid would have taken a knife into a damn track meet. I don't know. It's crazy to me. And also, too, during a rain delay, why would he go over to sit in another team's tent on purpose? Now, let me tell you something. I've been a habitual line stepper when it came to this tent thing in track. Okay, I was a guy who used to chase a lot of girls, and I would go sit over there. Sometimes the coach would be like, "Yo, get the hell out of here. We don't want you here." Okay, cool. And there was these periods where you could sit in between the tents, where you went under it, so you could have free and you could talk to a girl here and there. But you knew the vibes. Sometimes the coach, sometimes the guys on the team did not want your ass around, and that's just what it is. But you have to leave. You have to give them the courtesy of leaving, and especially in a rain delay. I don't know why he wasn't with his team in the first place. As a matter of fact, I haven't even heard about his team even being there. Which is weird is that they didn't even say he was competing. I've not heard one time that he was competing. That's what's weird. No one said that his team was also there competing. Now, let me say this thing about this Austin Metcalf kid. He was a 3-star football player. He had many offers. Carmelo Anthony kid, not so much. He was not so much as saying he wasn't a great player. He didn't have the same accolades as this kid. This kid was a little bit of a little ahead, and Carmelo Anthony was getting these D2, D3 offers. Not saying that that's a problem. Nothing wrong with that. What I am saying is that Carmelo Anthony went and sought out this kid. Carmelo Anthony brought a knife into a damn track meet. And during a rain break, a weather storm, he went over to their tent and sat there. Now, according to eyewitnesses, and I watch a ton of this shit, the eyewitnesses say there's 3 eyewitnesses that say he came over and Austin asked him to leave. And he told him, "Put your hands on me, and you're going to see what happens here." The kid grabbed his bag, put it outside the tent. Now, here's another thing. If it's a rain delay, why isn't your bag with your team in a tent? Why would you bring your bag over to his tent and sit down under his tent? If you ever ran track, you know that's just not what you do. Everybody has their own little pockets. You even have a pocket outside of the bleachers so that you can start to warm up. You even have a warm-up tent. He was in neither one of those 2 places. Also, too, you have 2 or 3 coaches that will watch your bags. So you don't have to take your bags with you. But he took his bag over to this team's tent, sat under it, and waited for the fireworks to happen. So when the kid asked him to leave, Austin Metcalf said, "Please leave, get out of here." He said, "Touch me and see what happens." The kid moved his bags and moved him. Now he said, "I tell you what, now punch me and see what happens." The kid once again pushed him, and the kid, Carmelo Anthony, stabbed him in the chest, right in the heart, and drops the damn knife and runs. Now, what I'm not understanding here is why this kid thought that going through this protocol of making something happen here, why he thought this was he thought this was a very smart thing. He thought he could play himself, look, I did these things, and I thought I'm going to turn. That's what I do before this happens.
um, like I said, came land to a family, and I'm sure that housing, I'm sure that his family are saying a little bit. What I'm saying, there's no expenses, and it's tracking that. But at the same time, some common
And he went over there after having an altercation with these guys, I think in November of this year, or maybe 2024. And he went over to play stupid games and got stupid results. He targeted these kids. He had a problem with these boys. Now, I'm sure there's some black folks that are going to say, hey, you this, you that, da da da. I've never brought a knife into a damn track meet before in my life. That's first and foremost. And number two, my number one goal when I ran track was to win. And if anybody out there who knows me, if I want to catch a fade with you, I'm catching that fade with you. There's no bottom line. I ain't got no time to beat around the bush. When we get done with this shit, let's catch this fade. That's it. Anybody who knows Marcus Nesbitt, aka Vegas, you know that I'm gonna catch a fade. I don't care. I'll come right up to you and say, yo, when this shit's over, when we get done running, meet me over here. Anybody who knows me will tell you that shit is legit. And at this point, this kid went over there to start an altercation. And I've seen this shit 100 times in my culture. You know how many times I've seen guys walk up to other guys and say, yeah, I bet you won't do this. I bet you won't touch me. I bet you won't do this. Knowing that he had something more powerful than the other guy, and to make a mistake. So now he goes to him and they get into it and he says, hey, leave. Austin grabs his bags, puts it outside the tent and pushes the guy. Because he said, I bet you won't touch me. His next words were, I bet you won't punch me. Now, in all these questions, in between the two questions, he had a great opportunity to just walk the hell off. You're in the wrong place. You also have a knife inside of a sporting event for high school kids. You're a bit wrong. No matter what happened in the past, this has been an epidemic amongst our culture for a long time. It's called ego. Ego has put a lot of black men in jail. And here we are once again with ego. Now, I'm even willing to go further and say that event that happened in November, I think these two brothers were maybe the catalyst of it. Because this young man remembered it and said, I'm going to get my turn. Now, when he gets his turn, he stabs this kid in the chest after he says, hey, bet you won't punch me. The kid pushes him. Austin McCaffrey pushes this guy. And he stabs him in the chest. He drops the knife and he runs. He runs away. This is how I know that this was not something that this kid truly thought that he was going to win at here. This was a kid who set out to crash out. He wasn't concerned with a track meet. He knew exactly what he was doing because he brought a damn knife in. I've never freaking brought a knife into a track meet in my life. Not even to cut tape or some shit. It's never been on my mind. Winning, running, my teammates, fun, the future. There's only shit that was on my mind. And girls, fuck girls. I wanted women. I wanted to win so I could have more. Right? I mean, I'm just being honest. And here this kid, he had a whole mission plan. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to antagonize these kids. And when they say something to me, I'm going to make this line. I'm going to set these lines out. And so as far as to go to when after he did it, he got arrested and he told the police, he says, listen, they put their hands on me. Then he said to the police officer, he put his hands on me and I was defending myself. I was just defending myself. They arrest him, put him in the back police car, and as he rode to the precinct, he asked the police officer that was driving him, "Is what I did justified as self-defense?" They say he asked the police officer this over 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Because he put his hands on me, right? But what you don't understand about Texas law is that one thing has to equal the other when it comes to self-defense. Yes, they do have a stand your ground, stand your ground, judicial, whatever. It's real. You can stand your ground. But I can't just go and shoot you if you throw water in my face. I can't do that. I just can't blow your brains out if I kick you in the leg. I can't do that. And so what this kid did was he did a little bit of, he was angry about something from somewhere, and he did a little self-lowering, and he justified means why he was going to do this whole thing. He had made up in his mind before he even got to that track meet, because if he didn't, he would have never brought that knife. He made up in his mind exactly what he wanted to do, and he got the results that he got, and he got stupid results. Now, let me say this once again. In Texas law, you just can't go. If someone smacks you, you got to find some force to stand your ground that is equal to the smacking. You just can't blow him away. Now, this kid did not punch him. He wasn't jumped. He could have walked away. He gave 2 ultimatums, and he didn't walk away. Let me say it again. He gave 2 ultimatums and he did not walk away. He knew he was in the wrong place. He didn't belong there. He stood his ground on grounds of, I want you to do something here. And when you do, watch what the fuck I do. That's what he said. When you do, watch what I do. And he stabbed this kid and killed him. And Austin's twin brother held him in his arms as he died and bled out on that track. Now let's get to the bigger problem here for me. Not a bigger problem, but an extension of the core of this. The same thing happened with the track girl with the baton. We have another set of parents who are not preparing their son for accountability. Let me give you the laws in Texas. When it comes to murder, there's only 2 initial laws, right? There's capital murder, and then there's murder. Capital murder, I'm pretty sure, is the death penalty. And then murder is 5 to 99 years in prison. Then they have a murder 2. Don't get me wrong. I studied this last night. I think it's murder 2. It's a step down from murder. And it's about crimes of passion or passionate crimes in the moment. Which this could be one of those things. I think this kid got into an altercation with these boys. And listen, Austin McCaffrey was a real 3-star. They're both good students. But at the same time, Carmelo, I think a lot of things about his character. I think some things about his character are going to come out. I don't want to put that out now and just wing it. But I've been researching and I've seen some things that says this guy had a little bit of a different character that his parents may not have known about. But I don't want to put that out there. That's alleged. But I do want to say that I don't even know why he would have thought about winning a track meet and being focused on the track meet and thought about a knife at the same time. I don't know why that is even something that you even focus on. I don't know why. And I don't know why if he had a real problem with these boys, he wouldn't go get busy and just say, yo, meet me here or whatever, settle it without a knife. But he did. Now, let's go even further to see the parents at the press conference. And I want to just say about this, the representation of Carmelo Anthony. It's a guy named Dominique Alexander, and he's a part of this group, Action something another, and he's representing him. And I thought he was an attorney, and he's not. He's just some dude seeking attention. He's an ambulance chaser, but he's also a felon. Felon for endangerment of a child and also domestic violence against a woman.
The kid also fathered dogs to his grandparents. He didn't say a word. He didn't say one word to watch. And this Alexander had to criticize him. Except he had his personal interest. But he didn't. And this is ultimately everything that's happened with their culture. That he was when anybody from us. It doesn't matter. We don't have to close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. There's a lot of cool things going on in our culture right now. The worst thing is right. Don't tell you. Want to act whatever you want. I'm not saying I have to tell you wrong. No, don't think of it. You can imagine all your ask questions. My parents would ask me, what the hell was going
In the first place, you ain't had no damn business over there in the first place. What was you doing over there? What were you doing over there in that section? That's what they would ask me. Second of all, they would have said, why the hell did you have a knife? That's what they would have asked. Why'd you even bring a knife to a track meet? And to see his parents, and not only that, his Carmelo Anthony's father, I don't have any respect for you, homeboy, because you let your wife talk. She barely could read. She couldn't even read good. She made your family sound as illiterate and stupid as stupid could be. And so did your representation. How he criticized this kid's father for showing up, and the guy said nothing. Austin's father is also an attorney, so he's not dumb. He's not a dumb man. And Carmelo's picked some guy, Dominique Alexander, who's not even a damn attorney. He's some PR firm. And he's a felon. And they've raised over $480,000 in this kid's, not even GoFundMe, it's called Go Get Me Something bullshit. I don't know what it is. But it's sad to see people rob each other. To see this man take advantage of this situation and try to make money off of it. Dominique Alexander, what you should be doing right now and what the parents should be doing is not defending this kid's wrong. And we have a lot of this shit in our culture where black folks are just, we not all of us, but most of us will defend wrong just to be right. Just to win an argument. And what I'm saying here today is that they should be trying to help this kid get a plea deal. He will not win. He will not win a trial. Even if they take it down to a crime of passion in the moment, it will still have a lot of premeditated teeth to it. Because he went over there, he sat over there, he waited for an altercation. When an altercation happened, he gave ultimatums. Well, if you do this, then I'm gonna do this. And then come on, do this. And then that's when it happened. We have to be accountable for the things that we do. We have to teach our children better. This could have been avoided. This could have never happened if he was focused on his craft, if he was focused on his sport. Carmelo Anthony was getting D2 offers. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with D2 offers. And I bet that kid wish he never went over there. Do you know how many times that I made mistakes and I'm like, I wish I never had to went there? You know how many friends I lost because I was like, damn, I wish he just never went over there. This is extremely sad. It makes me really sad because the ego is killing our culture. Black folks, I'm speaking to you. I don't give a damn if you get mad at me or not. I hope most of you who know me, you know I really don't give a damn. Ego is killing us. Having to show somebody, prove something to somebody outside of yourself and your family. I don't have to prove nothing to no damn body. It's just me, my family, my team. Thank my wife, my children, thank dads, my family, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my nieces, my family. That's all I gotta be accountable to. I don't have to worry about what nobody say about me. I ain't gotta worry about what nobody think about me. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. These people take care of me. We make this work. We make this podcast work, me and the Dank Dads. We get money together. We create situations. This kid knew exactly what he was doing. And he's going to lose a lot of time in prison. And then you in Texas, you fool. You freaking fool. You in Texas. Your hair all twisted up and shit. I ain't saying nothing wrong with the haircut, but I'm just saying it don't help you in the damn mugshot. They showing you looking crazy as hell, and they showing this kid in a football uniform winning a championship. You look stupid as fuck, and your family knows that. But instead of your family holding you accountable, just like the fucking girl with the batons family didn't hold her accountable at all. And they look ridiculous now. That young lady's not going to get any scholarships anywhere because they're going to say, yo, you act irrationally, and you could not say, you know what, I'm sorry, I flipped out. I made a mistake. Here we have another incident where this kid went over there looking for a problem and found a way, a protocol to get a problem. And he got one, killed the kid, and ran. And then asked the police officers, is what I did good enough for self-defense? This shit is sad and you can't make it up. Let me say this. I don't have any mercy for this kid. I don't have anything. I can't really say what I want to say, but I've seen other podcasts of other brothers, other former athletes say the same thing, that this is terrible. This was so unnecessary that now you won't have anything, man. You made this dumb decision and you won't have anything. And now you have your family. Because listen, if I did this, my father would have told me you deserve every bit of this. Alvin Nesbitt would have not played games. He would have said, no, you going to stand on 10. You're going to apologize. We ain't going to no trial. You better find you a damn plea deal. Alvin Nesbitt would have never given me any kind of grace or understanding. You were in their section with a knife during a break when your whole team should be under a tent. Your bag should be under that same tent. You took your bag over to his tent and sat there, and then you gave this kid ultimatums of what was going to happen. Watch what happened if you do this. Bottom line is, it's wrong. I have no sympathy for this kid. And this is a lot of this ego shit is going on in our culture. We're the only culture that worships the pimp. We're the only culture that raps about killing each other enjoyably. We have to do better. We have to do better than this. And this is just sad that he thought that this shit was going to work out for him. He thought I was going to show you and still live my life. Man, This is a symptom of our culture, things that are going on. This is a cancer in our culture. It's called ego. And look at me. Even Mr. Alexander, Dominique Alexander, would have the nerve. Talk about how good, yeah, what we do is we represent and we put security around them and we do this shit. Bro, you a felon, homie. You put your hands on a child. There's nothing you can tell me. And then you guys go and pick this fool? Unbelievable. I'm your boy Vegas. I am 1/4 of the Dank Dad Sportscast. This has really weighed on my heart all day. I sat up last night after my podcast with the Dank Dads, and I really researched this thing, and to see what happened to this young man that could have been so avoided. To know that he died in his brother's arms, and to know that I'm a father, like a lot of us are fathers. White or black, no matter what color the fuck they, whatever. A lot of us call ourselves Christians and we forget, man, do unto others as we would have them do unto you. Loving. When I played sports, man, there wasn't a whole lot of color to me. If you were a track athlete and you were a white boy, and I can tell you, me, my brother Tyron Turner, and Wayne Singleton, we got beat by some white kid from Baltimore Airwaters in a 100-meter sprint. And that kid ran a 10-2, and we just had to be like, we had to say, damn, he did that shit. When he was white, he was white. He was like, this white boy beat our ass. And we dapped him up. And we used to look for this kid, and he ended up working at a gas station and kind of fizzled out, but we were his biggest fans. Not because he was a white guy, it was because he was a dog. And he beat us, and we were some of the best. And I'm just sad now that this young brother is going to lose his whole everything that he's worked for, because Carmelo Anthony was also an A student. He was a captain on his football team at Centennial. He wasn't a bum. He wasn't on the level of Austin McCaffrey, because McCaffrey was a 3-star, I think. He had real offers from Arkansas and other big schools, and his whole platform in his social media space showed that. And now two men have nothing now, because you wanted to go over here and show somebody who's what. You know how many times I've seen that in my neighborhood? Not my neighborhood, but in my culture of from Clinton, Maryland to Archbishop Carroll. That drive, that commute, staying with a grandma in here, staying with a cousin over in the city if I got tired or whatever happened. You seen the shit that happened in the hood, and a lot of times guys will run that game. Yeah, I bet you won't touch me. Bet you won't put your hands on me. And it's like, man, everybody and your mama know you got a gun in your pocket, cuz. Everybody know you out here doing this because you got a gun. Nah, I'm not gonna touch you. I ain't gonna put my hands on you. Nah, I don't want to die tonight. And then to see the parents defend it, to see the parents defend that. We gotta do something in our culture, man. We gotta get better. I'm signing off, man. Nothing but love, man. I hope that this family takes a plea deal. It ain't gonna get no better for this kid. Let me just let y'all know right now. I've read a lot. I've researched a lot. It's not gonna get no better for him. The actions don't match. Kid pushed him. Kid grabbed his bags, whatever. If he even socked him, it wouldn't match getting stabbed in the heart. It wouldn't match him not having his ass in the wrong goddamn section. Wrong damn section, man. I'm done. I'm just mad as fuck. I'm mad because I just hate to see that brother's mugshot. Because I've made mistakes myself where I've said, yo, why the fuck did I go over there and do that? And then I've also had to thank God because he saved me from the moments when I was a dumbass. He saved me to allow me to have a family, to allow me to have a business, a life. And I'm looking at this boy and I know you did not mean to do that. You wanted to show somebody. And now you're going to lose everything. And it just breaks my heart to see this young brother who didn't make the right decisions. I'm mad at him. I'm super mad, and I don't have much empathy for the boy at this point. We got to do better, man. I'm your boy Vegas, 1/4 of Dang Dad Sportscast, man. I'm out, man.